a 6 o'clock evening. How you guys doing out there today? Day 2 here at GalaxyCon Columbus. You guys feeling good? Bringing that 6 p.m. energy. We need to bring that here. So, subtitles. Just in case. I can't read though. So, we're gonna have a lot of fun here today. So we have a live microphone right here for you guys. We're gonna open up your questions. So at that time, when we do, I'm gonna ask you 3 favors, 3 rules. Maybe I should use that microphone. The first is gonna be no request. No, can you say this line as this particular character? Listen, I don't know what's going to come out of these microphones, so please. Nobody saw you. It's all good. So please, no requesting. If you don't know what's going to come out of these mics, but please, no request. There's quite a few in here, so please, no 2, 3, 4. I know it cut out. I said no 2, 3, 4, 8-part questions. Find your one best question and ask that. And then rule number 3 is really the most important rule, and that is to have fun. Are you guys ready to practice rule number 3? All right, with no further ado, please help me welcome out first. You know, from solo leveling, Mortal Kombat, Final Fantasy, so much more. Please help me welcome Alan Lee. Welcome, welcome. You may or may not hear me. Who knows? I don't know what's going on here. Next up, guys. You know, from Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Borderlands, My Hero, Doom. Please help me welcome Jason Liebrecht. Subtitles? You have subtitles? Are they happening? Colleen, they're happening right now? You can read them? There's subtitles back there. Are they right there? Yeah. Are they accurate? If you speak Spanish, Mi padre es chileno. Es verdad. No. Just like a tuna fish, right? And last but certainly not least, tuna fish. You know, from Fire Emblem, Marvel Rivals, and a little franchise called Sonic the Hedgehog. Don't know if you guys have heard of it. Please help me welcome Colleen O'Shaughnessey. Tuna fish. Tuna fish. Did it go? Is it accurate? Yeah, tuna fish. Apparently the accent's comparable.
Too many fish in the sea.
And what if I sound like this? Will he do it actually there?
One fish.
No, he does not understand my father's
2
accent.
fish. Red fish. Blue fish.
Blue fish.
Yes.
This is pretty exciting.
Recite Dr. Seuss.
Let's play a game.
Well, I don't know. I think my mic. I don't know if my mic works. Who knows? But welcome to Columbus. I'm so excited to chat with you guys this evening. So we are talking. Oh, we're gonna switch out.
I'm just taking mine off the thing.
Now, why don't you come and join us?
All right.
I know, man.
All right. So
We're gonna be real broody the whole time. Yeah, whatever.
So we are talking video games, voice acting for video games, and we can, maybe we'll sprinkle some other stuff in. But I wanna ask you guys some of those differences between video games and maybe either anime or traditional, Western animation. Let's start with like the audition process. Is the audition process any different for in the video game world? I would imagine maybe the only difference might be for some of the motion capture titles.
It depends on the type of game, Mr. Beasley.
It's pretty similar. Only every once in a while for mocap they'll have you do make a video instead of just sending your audition, recording it. But which is always weird for me because just the other day I had to do I would love to do mocap. That's totally fine. But if I'm playing an 8-year-old boy,
and then you see you.
It's so weird. And they're like, oh yeah, no big deal, just record it in your booth. It doesn't have to be great video or whatever. And I'm like, but I don't, what do I wear? It's confusing.
I got an on-camera tape, dude. I just do it as if it's for an on-camera gig. I can't,
I
I don't
do too.
differentiate it. I just like,
No,
I feel
I
like
do
that's
too.
where I'll get the best thing out there.
Sure, I do that. I did it, but I'm voicing.
But they also don't understand like the limitations and how much harder it is to shoot something rather than record it. So they'll ask for like an incredible amount of material. Like I had one on-camera one where they wanted me to read for 5 different characters, but all on the same tape. So basically I was changing character. I didn't change outfits or anything. It's not, yeah. But what I meant is if it's like if it's a military game, there's gonna be battle barks involved or reacts in different intensities. That's something that you don't see when you're auditioning for animation or on camera. Right, Alan?
That's true.
It's no, the only difference, okay, honestly, 80% of the difference between anime or like animation versus like a video game is the format of the document. One's on Word, the other one's on Excel. That's like 80% of it. And then the other 20% is like there's a death rattle and attack grunts for the video game, and that's usually like a MOBA, whatever. And yeah, I think that's really it. Otherwise, like every script is basically, they're trying to get like they're just trying to see your acting chops, and they're trying to see like, do you fit the essence of the character? That's it.
In certain games, like, you know, if you're auditioning for something like Fallout or of that nature, you'll have a more kind of dramatic, filmic, like, script to work from, versus an anime game will be more like an anime audition, but with the added, you know, intensities and death rattles.
At the end, like, okay, give us, you know, taking damage, giving damage, you know, attacks, big, 3,
Small damage,
big,
medium
small,
damage.
big, small, big, big.
It's like Street Fighter. It's like light, medium, heavy punch, and then light, medium, heavy kicks. Yeah.
So that's what you're talking about with like the Excel sheet, just
Oh, yeah.
checking off all those. So do you find that because you are checking off all those little intricacies, every little different kind of variation, that recording sessions take longer? That's because you are doing more variations?
I mean, it's not that it takes longer, it's just different, I think. Like, they'll be like, okay, you're gonna get attacked. Like, I did Mortal Kombat, and it was like, okay, you're being put on fire. This is how you die. So you have to do 3 variations of, right? And then, like, you just do 2 more, and they're like, all right, we'll choose A. And then they keep going down the line. Whereas animation, like, you typically do, like, scenes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for video games, it's like, they just give you the thing, like, technically out of context. They'll give you the context for direction, but, like, you don't know how it's gonna be plugged in.
Okay.
Whereas animation is kind of linear, where it's just you go down through the scene and to the next page, to the next page.
Except for certain cutscenes in my experience.
Yeah,
I've had cutscenes be, you know, if the actor, I've done them actually where I've had 3 actors in the same booth. I've done that for a couple of games, but that's pretty rare.
Oh, wow, that's
really
I have more often had, you know, like if you had recorded before me and we were having a conversation, they put you in my feed so I could just have that conversation with whoever was in there already.
Right.
So that's a little different for sure.
Yeah.
It also depends on the director or the production, because sometimes, like, I love to read down
This
the
is
page.
really technical
I
for
love
the end of the day.
It really is. I know. I like to read down the page, but often they want to do it line by line, and they're like, give us 2 or 3 of each line, and then they make their choice, and then they move down. And sometimes, depending on the game, like if it was done in Japanese first, sometimes there's a timing thing. Like you have to do your line in 0.3 seconds. That's
And
impossible.
Chinese often these days too.
Yeah.
Koreans too.
Yeah, well, whatever language, you know.
Yeah, the
and-
OV.
But since it's already done, you have to get whatever line in. There's a timing thing, and then you do it, and then they have to time it and make sure that it fits and all that.
I love how, like, the way that we talk about it, it's like the 3 of us understand exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, you guys are probably like, what?
Yeah, is any of this like getting through and making sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
that's
good,
cool.
good.
We're also all really kind of zonked. Is that a word? My lady,
Does zonks show up on the screen?
zonked. Yeah. My lady came up with a new expression.
Okay.
Bonko bananas. This just came out of her. I was just like, it's Bonko Bananas. I'm like, I am not eating that. That's in the lexicon. She's like, no. Anyway, did Bonko Bananas?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'll let Elizabeth know.
Then that's official then. It's canon.
I said banana pants.
Banana pants.
Banana pants.
Wish I had some banana pants.
I said what? Banana
That
pants.
sounds delicious.
Do you guys play the games that you guys are voicing? Colleen, I mean, I know that I've worked with you long enough to know the answer, so everybody besides Colleen can answer this.
You play Street Fighter 4? I have. I don't do it often. I'm not a huge fan of that. That was one that it was difficult to do something that I thought was good, but it wasn't my fault. I auditioned with a French accent for that, and then I got in the studio with Taliesin Jaffe, who was directing, and the Japanese clients. And I do a pass of some lines, and then they'd have a long meeting, and then Taliesin would be like, a little less accent. I'd be like, okay, and we do it again. A little less accent. We do it again. A little less accent. And finally we take a break, and Taliesin comes out, he's like, they don't really want the accent. I'm like, but that's how I got the part. Okay, cool. And then it was like, it had to fit these flaps in the cutscenes, and they wouldn't add words. So everything had to be this slow. Like, I don't know if you've seen the cutscenes in the game, they're awful. No offense to me or anyone else who was involved, but that's kind of what it was forced to be. That's one of my least favorite experiences.
Really?
Now, and it was real hard for me to watch that. Normally I can watch myself or play myself, no, play with my, never mind. Whoa, it's 6:27 after dark. Anyway, usually I don't have a problem. That one was, it was a little cringy. It was a little cringy.
Because I really liked your performance.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's really good to know. It seems so awful. I do think if you get good at it, well, you get pretty good.
Dude, your efforts were great.
I appreciate that. The efforts I was proud of. It was when I had to like have a cutscene.
I believe.
And I'm talking with the bear from Shadaloo. And I'm doing this weird like non-accent, like
You were like vaguely European, like
that is precisely the
European.
terminology. I was like, how about just like a European lilt? It was European lilt.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I want that as a direction for like the character description. Vaguely European.
Vaguely European.
Alright.
I don't know that would fly anymore.
From Spain to Russia, right?
Oh my god.
Now I did have an experience. I did play all the way through Borderlands 2 more than once.
Nice.
And there's a scene in there, there's a mission in there where Mordecai is in this tower and he's talking to the player and he's like a sniper helping the player out, doing all this stuff on the ground. And I was trying to just play through the damn thing, but I would not shut the F up, right? So it started to make me mad at me. I'm like, shut up. And I finally had to mute it. My son was laughing at me. I'm like, I can't do this with me yelling at me, like,
It's so meta.
it's too meta. It's too meta. It's like so meta that I wasn't enjoying it anymore. Like when you start to hate yourself, maybe mute it.
Alan, do you play the games that you?
I played some of the games. I have less time to play games. It sucks. Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like it's like Full Metal Alchemist, where it's like the moment you enter the industry is when you give up the magic. Like you have to give up a little bit of the luster to give that to other people, right? Because you're part of the process now. Like I was watching. Okay, this isn't video game related, but I was watching K-pop Demon Hunters for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I worked on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
It's really awesome. If you haven't seen it, you should see it.
I appreciate it. Anyways, no, I worked on it for 2.5 years. And so the first time I watched it, instead of enjoying it, I was like, oh, that's different. Oh, they changed that. Oh, they cut a lot of that out. Oh, that went by really fast. And then the film was over. But like, it was like the same thing for video games where I'm just like, oh, I remember the scene. Oh, they took that take. Why did they take that take? Ooh, I sound, wait, people like this? Oh, I sound horrible, right? Like, it's like that, where you can't enjoy it. So, I do play it, but it's weird to hear myself, if that makes sense. So, I'll switch it to Japanese. No, I'm just
No, you don't sound the way you think you sound. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
It's a little messed up. You get used to it, but it's weird for a while.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on something that you had mentioned about auditioning, and this could be for a game or for an anime, for again Western animation, any sort of voiceover role. And that is, has there been a role that you auditioned for with perhaps a vocally straining, voice,
Yes.
that you then got the part and then had to keep it up?
Yes, one needs to be careful what they put on the tape, because it just might get picked. You try not to do something you can't sustain, and that's a lesson you might have to learn. I don't know specifically if I know I've learned that lesson, or like, geez, why did I do that? But I don't remember what it was.
I learned that one with Konohamaru and Naruto.
Really?
He murders my voice, and especially the Naruto video games, because so when I was working on the show, it's you're there for maybe 2 hours, but the game, because and you're by yourself when you do anime as well, so same thing. But for a video game, it's like pages and pages and pages of lines, and even if you're only there for 2 hours, it is murder. And it's because he's so raspy, and not only is he raspy, but his energy is here for every single line, because he's banana pants.
No, it's a little different when you start with like an animated thing and then it turns into a game, because it's a very different animal in terms of what's expected of you physically. Like you might have these really big moments, but then they pass, right? I've definitely gotten into that pickle with stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah. I speaking of which, that must have been crazy, because I'm assuming, because I can imagine how you do the voice, and I'm just like, oh man, the way that you have to tense your larynx, and then try to do efforts for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's there, and he's pinched, and he's
My
like, what
throat's
have I
like Charlie
done?
horse just thinking about it right now.
Oh,
I mean, and some characters will have, more intense forms, and then you gotta like basically have an additional session for this extra intense version that only had a few lines and whatever it was to begin with, and then suddenly you're doing what you just talked about. Yeah, that'd be.
You ever give yourself hiccups?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh, son of a... Dang it!
It sucks in session, man.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
You feel like you're not a freaking pro when that happens.
Like,
And it's not your fault.
It's not your fault. It's your body.
You can't control hiccups. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I do. Okay, so but to answer the question, yes, there was a time where like I did a character. I won't say what it is because, frankly, I don't know what it is. But like I did it, I booked it, and then I showed up to the session, and they just kept going. Can you make him deeper? Can you make him deeper? And I'm like, I sound like this originally, right? Like, I kind of sound young.
like it, but could he sound totally different?
Yeah.
Weird? That's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing.
So they retooled the character to just make him like super, super low, and then they recast me as a result. So I'm just like, that's okay, it's fine. It wasn't meant to be mine. Let's be honest. I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest,
No, that's
I
the
let it
universe
go.
knocking on your door and being like, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
Accents sometimes too. Like I booked this part, and when I got there, I was like, did they call the wrong person? Why am I here for this?
Was it
the
South
Soviet V4 launcher.
Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You did
The
all
Soviet
these
V4
changes.
launcher, and she was big and even tough and burly, and they're like bigger, deeper, and I'm like,
You're Soviet, go.
holy crap!
It's tough.
I know, but see, for me,
You mother-
lots of times when the lower I get, then I start to sound like a boy, and so you still have to sound like this big beefy woman, and it was just, I was like, what is it? My brain was broken, and then I kept slipping into Irish. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I'd be like, I need some water, and I turn around and I go, Boris and Natasha. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Like,
No, and
all
that's
right.
a pretty common thing. Like,
Yeah.
we'll have like a little thing that we say to get his back in
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was mine.
Boris
Boris and Natasha.
Boris and Natasha.
Well, and then afterwards, you're like, your Russian accent. Like, did you study that dialect? I'm like, yes, I studied
The answer is always yes. Yes, of course.
Oh my God.
Yes,
So I
Yes,
think
I practiced getting that damn squirrel. Like,
Right?
Look, she better go to St. Petersburg.
that and Chekhov from Star Trek.
So at this time, if you guys have questions, please feel free to line up.
And you don't have to ask us about this. You can ask us about almost anything.
Yes.
Almost anything.
As long as it is allowed to be shown on screen.
And clothes on, please. Whatever that means.
Hi, what is your name?
Hey, my name is Logan.
Hi, Logan.
Hello,
That's how
Logan.
you were.
Hey.
Why don't you just tell me the name of the movie you want to see?
Oh, yeah, that obvious. So this is kind of an odd question. I used to be really into voice acting when I was little.
Not so much anymore.
It has kind of grown away from me. I've tried to get back into it, but it's kind of, my voice just, I'm not as rangy as most people. But I've been trying to work on indie games. So I guess the question I have is, like what's a good director that you've worked with that I can kind of like bounce off of? To be like, because sometimes I get a bit too like, oh, this is fine, this will do, because I feel bad of being like, I don't want to reject this, but I don't know. I'm kind of having trouble coming up with the question, but
I think I know what you mean. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna try to give you an answer that I think might help you.
okay.
I don't think you need to do this to impress anyone else. I think you need to just check in with your own gut to see, does this feel right? Does this feel healthy? Does it feel good? Right? Because it's art. It's art, and art is so subjective. And so like the only person that you really truly answer to is yourself. Right? Was this fun for me? Did I do this to like in service of me? Right? Like in terms of like checking in with yourself, right? You don't need to check in with like any other, because every other director, like one director might like something, the other director might hate it, another director might be like, well, we're kind of there, but not really, right? It depends on what they need. And you can't play that guessing game. It's impossible. So just go with what you think, what your interpretation is, because that's what they want. They want your creativity.
Yeah.
And make strong choices. Go for it. It might not be the right one, and that's okay, and they'll tell you, but if you don't make a strong choice, then nobody gets what you are trying to do. Like if you're wishy-washy, if you don't believe it, they're not gonna believe it. So whatever it is, just make a strong choice. Just, throw it out there.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's just a whole confidence thing is what we need.
Well, and also you can't control what, like if we're talking auditions, you can't control what any other actor is gonna do, and you can only control what you can do, right? So all you can do is put your best foot forward, like whatever is, and it doesn't matter, you said you don't have as big a range as somebody else. That's okay, it doesn't matter. Your range is who, you are unique, you are you, there's no other you anywhere. And what you have to give is gonna be different than what somebody else has to give, and maybe that's the right thing. You just never know. I went into a video game session, and it was a new director, hadn't met him before, and he came up to me, he's like, Colleen, I'm so excited to be working with you today. I'm like, great, me too, thanks so much for having me. And he said, I've been listening to your auditions for years. For years, he said to me. I'm like, well, why'd you wait so long? It just didn't work out for whatever reason. It's not my fault, it's not his fault. Who knows why? You just can't question it. You just gotta throw out your very best effort.
And and don't waste time doing tons of takes either, man. Like I used to do that a little bit, and now I'll do one or two. And I just know that ultimately, unless I change something really big, they're gonna sound pretty similar anyway.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make this decision before they even listen to the full audition. Like they're gonna listen to a few words and be like, yes or no. You either go in the maybe pile or you get thrown out. And that's just the way it is.
Of course.
It is unfortunate.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, man. Good luck.
Never give up, never surrender.
Hi, my name's Arcus. What advice would you have for someone trying to get into the industry and start like a major career, or how did you first get your start?
Training, like, working, theater, improv, getting up on stage in any capacity, performing in any capacity is all very useful, I feel like. That's the end of my answer.
Ditto. Same. True.
Okay, for who here wants to be a voice actor? Raise your hand. Okay, there's thank you. Oh my god, I think you'd be great. Okay, yeah, no, but there's a resource that Dee Bradley made. I want to be a voice actor.com that has like 75% of the answers that you're gonna need. For the rest of it, it's part training, right? As a voice actor, you are an actor, so train in acting, right? Like learn your who, what, when, or why, how, all that stuff. Learn
And that is more important than making cool voices.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emotional truth, way more important.
Absolutely. Improv, take improv classes, and then when you feel like you're like coming up and you're ready, right? Yeah. Okay. ADHD brain. All right, good. Yeah, but I would say that the last thing is, okay, so like in 2025, right? What you would want to do is you go to the credits listing and you can see who cast it, and like and you can see like what studio cast it and stuff like that. Take note of that, right?
And then bombard them with an email. No,
Well,
I'm kidding.
sometimes you can cold email, but typically you might want to look for an agent who might have contact with that. So see who they cast and then see what agency they're at. And then be like, okay, I want to work with these people for this specific project. I want to get to this agency then. And then figure that out. So that's your next step.
Just
Thank you.
figure it out.
Yeah. Do some detective work.
You got this. Never give up, never surrender.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Curtis.
Hi there.
First off, I wanted to say the turning around and going Boris and Natasha, that is, I love hearing that because mine was Dublin Mother's must have touched the vulture in the cupboard. So my Irish.
Nice. Excellent.
Whatever works.
But
A very specific set of skills.
my question is, once you actually get the equipment that you need, you start building your reel and everything, obviously the next thing you've got to do is obviously audition. And sometimes auditioning can be a bit of a grind. Do you guys have any like self-care things you guys do to kind of re-up yourselves whenever, or maybe in the past whenever you guys have gone longer without auditions coming back?
I write mine down, and I still do. I started doing it when I first started because I wanted it so much that I would obsess about it. Like I'd be like, I had that audition. Why isn't anybody calling me? Like 5 minutes later, you know? So I write it down and I forget about it. I try to forget about it, you know? Like there's some that I still, no, it's not bad. But I have a notepad in my booth, and every audition I write it down, and then it's been sent and it's out there, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Do you ever review your list again?
Every once in a while I do. And it's like, and when I book something, I give myself a little star.
Any stickers, or do you just draw?
I just draw a star.
Gold
and then
sticker.
And I write down my sessions too. I still do. I don't, just because, I don't know what it is. I started it a long time
That's
ago
great.
because I couldn't stop obsessing. And so that helped me. Once I wrote it down, it was, and I walked away from it and then went,
I mean, the
worked my
thing,
7 jobs.
also, like, lower expectations, that's not a bad thing. Like, realistically, say we get 20 auditions we're submitting a week, and we do that for a month, pretty consistently, so that's almost 80 in a month. If we book one of those, we are doing well.
So true.
Like, seriously. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's that's the way it is.
If you book above 1% of the auditions that you do, you're doing great. If you could get to like anywhere from 1 to 10%, you're like killing it. But my contribution to this is enjoy the process, because auditioning is the job,
Yeah.
right? And if you get the gig, that's whipped cream and cherry on top. Yeah. But every audition that you do, enjoy the character, because you get 5 minutes to be the character, right? Even if you don't book it, you were the character for 5 minutes. And then once you're done, you're like, okay, I can let it go now. I got to be the character, right?
And change it from, I have to do auditions to, I get to do auditions.
Yeah.
It's all an
You
opportunity.
get to do auditions.
Even when you don't get it, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to continue to better your skill set.
Yeah.
Listening to you for years.
Yeah, that's happened to me too.
Yeah.
That's happened to me too. And I'm like, what the F, man?
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so we have a little bit less than 15 minutes. We do want to try to get through as many as possible, so if we can keep those questions. Less stories, more questions.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Sandoval. I was wondering if, my question was, how, for people who, especially myself, who don't exactly have the best confidence when it comes to that kind of stuff, what would you say is a decent confident booster you would probably give to yourself if you feel nervous or unconfident about a role?
I had a really inappropriate answer. Okay, no. Really inappropriate. Alcohol. No. That's a really hard question, man. I mean, you fake it till you make it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's been plenty that I've not felt worthy of, and I still put my foot in, throw myself into the ring, and I've booked some of those. You know, sometimes the one that you think is highly unlikely is the one that you end up booking. I mean, and I'd say more often than not, the ones I think are perfect for me are not the ones I end up with. It's crazy, and I don't think I'm alone in this. Like,
So it's very true. Yeah, the ones you're like, oh, I really just screwed that one up, and you like want to take it back, and that's the one you get.
you know, it is helpful to remember that this is a numbers game to an extent. It's about getting yourself out there. I mean, every casting director, like she was talking about, you know, somebody may hear you 25, 30 times before they decide, you know what, I've been liking the way these tapes sound. I think I'm gonna give them a shot. I mean, you never know what thought process is going on, and you can't control that. So there's really no point to obsess over it, and you are a human, so good luck not obsessing. But just realize the reality of the situation, and you're not alone in this. Everybody else who's throwing their hat in the ring, they're going through the same BS, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no point in flagellating yourself over the fact that, you know, like, is that the best I can throw out there? Like, I mean, do it and move on. Like, live to fight another day.
Thank you.
If you.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're good.
Hi, I'm Brennan. I was wondering, when you're working in like a booth where you have multiple voice actors where like you can hear like their lines as well, does that help you get into character more?
Yes, absolutely. It helps you have like we're having a conversation. It's very helpful to not be the first person who's just performing into a void.
Yeah.
It's really excellent. Like, that makes things way easier.
Those are my absolute favorite sessions when we all get to work together. It doesn't happen very often in video games, but any other time, it's magical.
It's
Like you
getting
said,
more and more rare, actually.
I know, even with original
Beyond,
animation,
yeah.
take it one at a time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome, brother.
Hello, my name's Elena. What was the first ever role you've gotten for voice acting? Like first ever? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember mine.
We all remember.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
No, the first thing that I did was for a show called Gargantia on the Virtuous Planet. It was back in 2013, 2014. Woo! I know, right? And I played the lead, and that was Baptism by Fire. So go watch it, you'll see why.
My first foray into it was Bon Meadow in the Get Backers.
Oh, you can get that. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that was a quarter century ago.
I'll say that.
My first thing is, you remember those books where you push the button in somebody's class?
Oh, yeah.
Mine was a reporter Barbie book, and I was Skipper, and you pushed my button, and I said, "It's fun to be a reporter. It's fun to be a reporter. It's fun to be a reporter." That was my very, and it was in the 1900s.
Did you ever own the thing? Did you
Oh
have the
yeah,
book?
oh yeah, my
Did you
mom
press
never got
the
that
button
sucker.
over and over
Oh,
again?
yeah, I think it's dead now, the book. I don't know if anyway, that was my very first thing, and then shortly after that I booked The Kids from Room 402. That was my first series.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
All right, so we have 10 minutes left. Hello.
Hello, my name is Eric. I've had the privilege of being able to be a voice actor for like 10 years, been in a handful of projects. I just wanted to ask you guys, like, obviously do strong choices, make bold decisions, right? What are some bold decision ideas? Like some people have said, like, oh, do lines out of order, or what's something that you think would catch?
Constitutes bold?
Yeah. What are some bold choices you think?
Playing against what you think the direction of the character is in the writing is an interesting experiment. Like if somebody seems really diminutive and kind of fearful, to play them very intensely and strong, for instance, or reverse that, that's intriguing. I'm not saying that's what you'll end up with, but you can learn something about the character if you do that. And sometimes you find things that you're like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. That's one thing you can do.
I mean, there's so many things you can do that are technically bold. It depends on the script, depends on the audition.
Yeah.
Like for me, I like to add physicality to mine. So I'll think, what am I doing physically, and how do I like interact with the scene as I'm doing it? So be it chucking a rock or eating a sandwich or whatever, right? Like I try to attach myself to the scene physically.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to add on to that, I'll, if there's, especially for games and things, you can, like you said, flinging a rock, efforts and things like that. Like if you're reading, if there's stage direction and it says, oh, or they just ran or something, like, have that out of breath feeling in your line as well. And how do you guys feel about this? I saw a video of somebody said to do your lines out of order. I think that's banana pants. That's weird to me. Have you guys ever done that?
I mean, I've done weird stuff like that in my capacity as an actor, as part of a group that did experimental device theater. Like we had all kinds of crazy stuff that we would do.
But for an audition? If you're giving
no, I've not done that for an audition.
To me, that's because especially, I mean, I guess because sometimes you'll get like chunks of lines and they don't have anything to do with each other. Right. But if it's a scene, to me, it doesn't make any sense if you put the lines out of order. That just was that.
Yeah, usually because they connect sometimes. Sometimes they'll do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, oh, like this will be in reference to the other, but you haven't read that first line yet.
And sometimes they're just sample lines anyway. They're never going to be in the freaking game or project you're going to work on. It's under a veil of secrecy and NDAs, so they give you something that's just an example script and they cast from that. I mean, you never know if that's not or is the case,
Right, they say do ABC, ABC, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to follow that format, and then...
But I do think that taking it past the point of reasonable intensity and seeing what that's like, and then pulling back and finding the variance until you find one that you feel like resonates with you, then that's probably your best foot,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
You bet. Hope it helps. Nice chainsaw.
Hello. Hi, I'm KB.
Hi.
I have been interested in voice acting for a few years now, and I finally managed to get into a few. But I was wondering, how would you, or do you have any advice on how to get from the indie projects to full-fledged company projects?
Get an agent. That's really get a demo made by someone who makes demos, and then go get an agent. That's like the hardest part of this entire journey is getting that, because that's so random. But once you get an agent, it doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter how big they are. If they champion you, that's your agent, right? And then they'll get you the stuff. That's like the best answer I can give you, at least.
Yeah. It's kind of the only answer. I don't know how often somebody's been in a smaller project without much in the way of that not many people are going to see, that gets them noticed enough to get pulled into a bigger project. The agent is the pathway to that. They're absolutely right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Gracias.
So we have 5 minutes left. We can try to do some lightning round questions. Get through as many as possible. Hello.
Hi, my name is Lee. I'm an amateur voice actor for 3 years. I've been wondering, I've had experience with being able to ad-lib lines on recording sessions. What is your best moments with ad-libbing when you're in the booth?
Well, okay, so for video games, we don't get a lot of leeway because they're like, just do it as written. But when it's animation, they love when we riff on, each other. But I mean, I guess the best that I've had in terms of video games, at least, is like adding pre-life. Like, I'll do an effort and then go into the line with the effort. Being winded or like, again, chucking a rock and you being like, what the hell, man? Whatever. But like, or dirtying up the line where like you add the effort into the line. That's what I'll do.
I did have the experience. I was the lead in a couple games, the Shadow Warrior series, the revamping of Shadow Warrior, playing Low A. And in that instance, they wanted tons of improv, funny one-liners, things you might say when you cut somebody's head off. Who wants some wang? For instance, Mace with the bull, you get the wang. It's totally silly, but that one they wanted me to improvise like crazy, hours of it. And then I got replaced because I'm too Chilean and Texan. I am not. I got from Hong Kong enough.
I think I auditioned for that.
The guy who played Bruce Lee ended up replacing me.
Oh, no kidding.
And I'd done the whole third game before they decided they were going to replace me.
No kidding.
They got some flack online, and they sent me an email. This is crazy. I'm sorry. This is totally a segue. Right. They sent me an email saying that they were firing me because I wasn't from Hong Kong. And my agent immediately, Dean, was like, "That is illegal. You put it in writing that you're firing him because of his race." Anyway, we figured it out. Dean figured it out.
Yeah, Dean.
Thank you.
Not a lot for video games. We did a ton of it during Sonic Boom. It's amazing. Anything. Yeah! Oh my god, we had so much fun. We laughed our faces off. It's amazing anything ever got recorded. But yeah.
Hello. So something you said earlier made me think something about having an exact time to fill. And so I do interpretation for the Nepali language, which I speak fluently, and I also speak Spanish. And I was thinking about how different languages often have different information densities. Like Spanish is far lower information density than English. It takes more syllables to say the same thing, and Nepali dramatically so. So my question is if you have more time to fill, or you have less time to say a line because like doing a translated work or something, how do you go about doing that? What do you do with that?
So, do you want to go first?
No.
Okay. So so hopefully, I mean, you trust your writer and the director to guide you, because that's not your job as the actor, right? Because ultimately, even if you're saying something that's nonsensical, right? Like Sinish or literally just the same word because you're a Pokemon or whatever, right? Like the thing that matters is that emotional truth, right? Because that's universal, right? Even if you don't understand what I'm saying, but you can feel it, that's the only thing that matters. So if they are like, oh, it's too short, they'll add more words for that, right? Because it's an adaptation, not a translation.
Or that's where you can improvise to a degree. That happens in anime dubbing all the time, where you get familiar with the character, maybe even more so than the head adaptive writer, or maybe the writer has changed. They don't know the gait and the rhythm of your speech as well, or the character's speech, that is. So you just on the fly will change the line to something that's more appropriate to what you would say that would fill the space. Or they rewrite it for you, yeah. Or like in that Street Fighter, or you just slow it down from Shadaloo.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Unfortunately, that is our time. I know, we were so close. I'm sorry I said that thing about that game. Are you guys going back to your table after this? Any table time? No table time. So you'll be there tomorrow if you guys have.
We'll be at our tables all day tomorrow. Are you going to go back to your table?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah. Alan's going to go back to his table. I'm not allowed to go back to my table today. I've been forbidden. I'm so sorry.
I will for a few minutes. Well,
Go back to
if any of you guys come, I'll be there.
So if you guys sweep by the tables, you'll be able to see Colleen
Yeah.
and Alan there. So thank you guys for hanging out. Any last words for our great folks here in Columbus?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
We love you, Ohio. I don't think you're salty.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Thank you guys out there. So before we go, let's commemorate this occasion with a big stage selfie. So if you guys want to come up by the stage, not on the stage, but by the stage.
I'm just gonna leave that there. Okay.
Everyone gather kind of tight, kind of tight. All right, gather in, make nice, watch your wallets, but make nice. Squeeze together.
You can fill in the rows in the middle of chairs.
Yep, so all y'all can come in. It's like empty space over here.
Yes.
Tell me when you want us to go. All right, I think we're ready.
All right, on the count of three, everyone say GalaxyCon. Ready? 1, 2, 3. GalaxyCon. One more time.
Last one. Ready?
Say Boris and Natasha. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. GalaxyCon Columbus. One more time, please go for Alan Lee, Jason Liebrecht, and Colleen O'Shaughnessey.
One thing is very clear. They're all used to talking into microphones in a booth without it being broadcasted to speakers in the room and talking very close to the mic. I hear flinching with the very loud. Good people. Very good people.
I told them where we were at.